All right, hello again. Welcome back. Welcome back to Kim Talks Stress. And if we're just meeting for the first time, again, I'm Kim Fulton, owner and founder of Kim Fulton Wellness. And I am a stress reset and resilience coach. And I base my coaching practice on the fundamentals of yoga and Ayurveda. And I've been reaching out to you live over the past few days to talk specifically about stress and to level set on some key concepts so that we have a common language and can have good dialogue around stress. So, to catch you up, a couple days ago I talked about stress and the definition of stress as a state of imbalance. It means that something has happened, a stress effect or a stress experience or stress event that has created a stress response within you that has created a bit of disharmony or imbalance. And that is an effect that the stress event is having on you. My goodness, I'm getting myself tongue-tied, or only on day 3, but nonetheless, we'll keep going. So that's what I covered in the first 2 videos. And today I want to talk about stress and you in particular, really understanding the effect. What I talked about at the beginning of this series, was that stress, or the cause of stress, is really just a thing. And that thing itself is neutral. I kind of demonstrated my pen being or causing, the stress or the imbalances or the creating different pulls or reactions within my hair elastic. But the cause of that stress is really neutral. It's the effect that it has on you that is actually creating the stress. This might be the source of the stress, but the effect of the stress is more personal, and that is happening within you or for you. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today, because, quite honestly, we're all different. And we see so many generic terms, and even just, in describing stress, I feel very kind of generic in these descriptions and these ways of describing stress, because as we all know, or if you're continuing to listen, you will know that stress itself doesn't feel so darn generic when it's happening, right? In fact, so many people are stressed out, burnt out, overwhelmed, and experiencing daily, persistent, and acute stress. And so it doesn't feel so generic. And that's why I wanted to talk about you tonight, or the effect that stress has within you, because we are all so different. And so when I say that, the effect of stress on people is different because we are different, it also sounds fairly generic. And I'm not just talking about the fact that we all have different visible characteristics. I'm talking about our nature. And in Ayurveda, we call our nature our prakriti, kind of the core composition of ourselves, which is unique, which is different than the person standing next to you or your coworker or your family member. We are all comprised of the same core pieces, but the way that they're composed within us is unique. And so stress, or the effect that the source of stress causes within us, will also be unique. Now, during the series, I've also been kind of using these analogies of elastic bands because I think it so nicely illustrates stress. And so to further illustrate that, I would say that, I've got my hair elastic, but then we've got these other types of elastics, and, their ability to kind of deal with stress or deal with the same source are all different. The capacity is different. The stretchiness is different. The materials are different. And so, just like that, or just like us, we're all very different. And so, it's not, so the fact that we are all kind of different is another key factor in how the source of stress will impact us. But the second factor that's really important to consider is that we've also all had various degrees or various levels of stress experiences in our life. And so you can take two things that looked almost exactly the same, say these two hair elastics, right? But they can be very, very different based on their experience of the thing that's causing them stress. So one, fresh out of the package, brand new, lots of stretchiness, lots of stability, right? It's going to carry my my hairdo for many, many, many days because it's new. It has fewer stress experiences. This elastic, however, same package, a little bit more worn, has a little bit less stretchiness. It had more stress put on it over time, over use. And so when we consider on ourselves, on us as individuals, the effect that stress has, or any particular stress event that has on us compared to, somebody that might look very similar, a coworker, a neighbor, a family member, the effect of stress can be very, very different from that on that person than on you. And that's because the experiences that you've had or your stress stack can be quite a bit different in shape. And so when we talk about the experience of stress, it is highly personal. It is highly unique. It is, I would say, as unique as our fingerprints, because it's comprised of our own personal composition, our nature, and the experiences that we carry into that particular stress event. And so, what do we do with that? So, first of all, you can't compare, really. You can't compare. You cannot know how something will or should not affect a person, or you for that matter, right? There is no one size fits all definition of a stress effect. And there is no one size definition of something that causes a stress or what should cause stress. What will cause a stress? What will not cause a stress? What is a stressful situation? What is not a stressful situation? It all depends. Okay, so we cannot compare. And what might, not be causing someone very close to you stress may cause you lots of stress, and vice versa. We can't compare because of all the factors I just talked about. And the second thing that we need to consider based on all of this is that the ways that we deal with or the ways that we manage stress is also very, very different because it's based upon your unique situation, your unique composition, and your unique stress stack. And that is exactly what I'm going to talk about in more detail tomorrow. So I hope you'll join me then. And for now, let's continue the conversation. If you are liking this series, if you are liking this conversation around stress, if you are just liking joining me here on Instagram or on Facebook or wherever you're happening to be catching me today, that is awesome. Then please do go ahead and follow me. And you can also let me know kind of in the comments your biggest takeaway or aha moment or question that you have related to stress. And let's keep this conversation going. Until tomorrow. I'll see you soon.